Look at high school football scores and highlights. This is First Down Friday Night with the WZDX Sports Team. Sponsored by Zaxby's.
The first week of October brings about a lot of meaningful matchups. We got them right here on First Down Friday Night. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mo Carter, and I'm solo in the Dolo once again. But this time it's because we're rolling out our Cover 2 package this evening. Charity Chambers and Kayla Carlisle are both out covering some primetime matchups. So let's check it with them right now.
Well, it was a top 10 matchup here tonight as the number 8 Austin Black Bears took on the number 9 Sparkman Senators. I'll have highlights coming up.
And I have two big matchups happening over here in East Alabama tonight. First up on our list, Pisgah versus Geraldine. Then we'll have Fife versus Sand Rock. Those highlights coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks, ladies. We'll check back with you very soon. Now, don't forget to check out all our scores from the area scrolling on our ticker right here below. We'll kick things off in Class 5A. After dropping their first game of the year, the Madison Academy Mustangs have reeled off 4 straight victories, and they sit in first place, at least a tie for the region. Right now, the team that's right tied with them is Scottsboro, while a team on their heels is Guntersville. Both of these teams are well rested after having Week 5 off. Let's take you to all the highlights at Bill Washington Stadium. Mustangs gallop down the field and score first thanks to Avery Seaton, the former First Down Friday Night MVP of the week. He scores from 3 yards out. Mustangs up 7-0. Now Guntersville answers with a 4th and forever play. Zach Barnett gets some time, fires a prayer, and it is caught by Jack Harris for a 30-yard touchdown. We've got a tie ball game up at 7 apiece. Now the Wildcats, they would get a turnover and capitalize. Logan Pate runs it in for a touchdown. Guntersville takes a 14-7 lead, and guess what? Coach Godsey is not happy about that. But afterwards, Seaton decides to go to work. Look at this picture-perfect pass going straight to Tim Spurlock for a nice first down. Great grab by number 4. Then Seaton, seen here in the shotgun, he will throw the quick slant route to Clay Pistinos for the touchdown. Ball game tied at 14 apiece. Then the Mustangs defense coming up big. Burnett step back to pass, and he's picked off by Slate Rucker. And number 22 is the great recipient of a pick six. Mustangs up 21-17 at the break. Let's check out the updated score on this one, everyone, as Guntersville has actually come back. Right now, they're on top 37-36 against Madison Academy. This game running kind of long, so we'll update you with a final score later in the show. Next week, Madacad takes on Madison County, while Guntersville will take on Brewer. Now, there was a doubleheader at Milton Frank Stadium today, and it all started with May Jemison. They will play host to Buckhorn. There's a nice look at Milton Frank Stadium during the day. Jemison tied the ball game up with a 96-yard kickoff return by Clezarius Tanner. He takes it to the house for a call. He makes it 7-7 at that point. Let's go to the third quarter now. The razzle-dazzle for the Jaguars. Damon Easton flips it to Tanner. He picks up enough yardage for a Jaguars first down. On the very next play, Jaguars are knocking on the door, everyone. It's Tanner. He'll take the hand up, but he will fumble it. Luckily, DeAviance Jones-Ford will recover it in the end zone. Talk about a lucky bounce for the Jaguars. They take a 21-7 lead. But back comes the Buckhorn. Their quarterback, Brandon McNeil, he likes to air things out. And on this play, he evades a couple of tacklers and then throws it deep, and he's got a man. It's Riley Irwin. Doesn't worry about the pass interference, and he still catches the ball, making it 21-14 on the passing play. Let's go to the fourth quarter now. Jaguars knocking on the door again. Damon Easton with the quarterback read up the middle. He gets stripped at the 1-yard line. However, I can't really tell who actually got the ball, but they said Jaguars touchdown on this one, and May Jemison comes out in a big victory. Let's check out your final score in this one. Jemison knocks off Buckhorn by a final 35-21. Next week, Buckhorn will take on Fort Payne, while May Jemison will take on Hazel Green. All right, everyone, it seems like no one can stop Muscle Shoals this season. The close margin of victory for them was 19 tonight. They look for another victory against Decatur. They step things up at Trojans ball. Logan Smothers hands it off to Eugene Malone. He gets in for the score, 14-0. Still in the second, Decatur with the ball now. Grayson Vermeer hands it off to Jaheim Langford. He gets it near the goal line. Watch this play coming up, everyone. You got to check out the footwork. Vermeer scrambles. He is being pressured. Somehow he throws it off his back foot as he's falling out of bounds, and Harrison Mark is right there for the touchdown. for the Decatur Red Raiders. That made it 14-7 after this extra point. Let's check out your final score in this one, though, as Muscle Shoals goes on to win by a final of 49-13. Next week, Shoals will take on Coleman, while Decatur will take on Hartselle. The other two undefeated teams in that region squaring off tonight at Golden Eagle Stadium as Athens playing host to Coleman. We will pick things up in the first quarter. It is Athens Golden Eagles ball, and they are moving it. They pitch it over to Braden Gross. Watch him take the pitch, put on the Afterburners, 10-5, cuts in front of a man, touchdown. Athens on that one. They go up 7-0. Now more from the Eagles. Kevin Gerardo attempting a 46-yard field goal. It is up and it is good, everyone. Golden Eagles up 10-0. Second quarter, Athens knocking on the door again. Jalen Cates goes up the middle, breaks the tackle, and he gets in for a score, 17-0. At that point, Golden Eagles on top. And let's check out your final score in this one as Athens goes on to win by a final 31-17. Next week, Coleman will take on Muscle Shoals, and we will check in with the Athens Golden Eagles as well. Hey, everybody, don't forget, we've got social media, and we're really, really active on it. At Mo Carter WZDX, at Kayla WZDX, and at Charity WZDX. Of course, send us a tweet. We may read it out later on the show. Now, we're just getting started here on First Down Friday night. When we return, we'll check out our Spirit of the Week, and we'll head eastward to check in with Kayla Carlisle, who's got some great matchups out at Fife and Geraldine. Stay with us.
Don't get hit hard with low trade offers.
Get up to $5,000 over Kelly Blue Book fair market value for any trade at University Kia. New 2019 Kia Rios are just $13,995 or just $199 a month with zero down payment.
Only at
University Kia.
As a firefighter, I've got to stay in shape. So I use My Blue Wellness. It's a benefit I have with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama.
Check it out.
When I first signed up, I found their free health quiz. And after I took it, I set some goals to help me get on the right track. Talk about holding your feet to the fire.
Glad you can make it.
Take a free health quiz and get started on your plan today at alabamablue.com/health quiz.
So, how are your classes going at Calhoun?
Great. I'm glad I stopped putting it off. I didn't know they had pre-engineering and graphic design.
I know. Soon I'll be a physical therapist assistant.
They have all that at Calhoun? Guess they have electrical too, huh? Yeah, Dad, they do.
An associate's degree only takes 2 years.
An electrical certification only takes a few months. When did you say those classes start?
Calhoun Community College. Register now.
At Wholesale Jewelry, we offer a huge selection of certified diamonds, gold and platinum jewelry, including rings, chains, bracelets, earrings, and a huge selection of birthstones. Our service department is equipped with state-of-the-art instruments, including a laser welder for on-the-spot repairs. Our master jeweler, Brian, has over 25 years' experience in the industry. He can solder chains, replace stones, size rings, and so much more.
Big store.
Little prices.
Hey, and repairs too.
Addiction is never just one person's problem. It affects everyone around you, especially your family. They're suffering too, but you can all get the help you need by calling Bradford now. Bradford has been helping adults and adolescents overcome drinking and drug problems for more than 30 years with proven treatment that's affordable, confidential, and only a phone call away.
Don't get hit hard with low trade offers.
Get up to $5,000 over Kelly Blue Book fair market value for any trade. Now available, the all-new 2020 Kia Telluride, 8-passenger SUV with touchscreen display, backup warning, and much more.
Only at
University Kia.
Need more sports? Check out 97.7 The Zone.
Now back to the action on First Down Friday night.
And welcome back, everyone. It's now time for our Spirit of the Week segment where we show our love to the bands and fans who show up and show out each and every Friday night. This week, winner goes to the Florence High School Big Blue Marching Band. Now, I can tell you their drum major is Caroline Branham. The band participates in various events like parades in the Florence area and marching competitions. And, of course, they always have large numbers, as you see right here. They were performing during halftime of the Huntsville-Florence game, which we'll have highlights of coming up later in this episode. So congratulations to the Big Blue Band from Florence for being our Spirit of the Week. Now, congrats to them. And of course, you've probably been on social media this week. You've also noticed that our very own Kayla Carlisle has been an internet sensation thanks to her reactions to while shooting a stand-up with a band behind her. Well, she's got no bands behind her tonight, just a football stadium, and she joins us from out eastward with some action that involves both Geraldine and Fife. Kayla, what's going on?
Well, Mo, the last time Fife lost to Sand Rock was back in 2008. The Fife Red Devils would lose by 1 point that game. And fast forward to 2019, now the Red Devils have 8 consecutive wins over the Wildcats with a handful of undefeated seasons under their belt. Tonight, the Red Devils are looking to keep that winning legacy alive one more time. Let's go and check out how they did. Coach Paul Benefield enters his 23rd season with the Red Devils, and just about every season recently has been successful for them. And here's in the second quarter, Fife up 28-0, and that score isn't slowing down as Zach Pyron pushes back and launches one to the wide-open junior Tyler Mize. Red Devils up 35-0. Fife with possession again quick. This time, Will Stevens with the carry, but he gets taken down. That's a first down for the Red Devils. Same drive, though. Pyron to Tyler Macon. He runs and reaches past the goal line. Refs call it good, and the Wildcats taking the heat down now 42-0. But in case you weren't tired of seeing 5 touchdowns, here's one more. Pyron hands off to Brody Hicks, and Hicks, he runs and spins it into the end zone. Here's a look at your final score. The Red Devils not messing around once again this season. But over now to Geraldine, who has been on the brink of a state final many times. This year, they're aiming for that opportunity once again with a win over Pisgah. First quarter, Pisgah Eagles with the ball, and watch Parker Law go. Those legs are moving fast, but he gets taken down. No big deal, though. There's still time to play. And speaking of next play, Eagles get to moving, but they get taken down again and fumble the ball. Bulldogs recover and take over possession, a possession that they would capitalize on. Check this out. Davy Graham goes for the shot to Jackson Bearden in the end zone. Extra point would be good, and Bulldogs make it on the board first, 7-0. But the Eagles would respond. Parker Law pushes back and sends it to Nathaniel Cornelison, who is wide open. No one is touching him, and he takes it to the house for the score. The Eagles would go for 2, but get denied, so the score at that point would be 7-6, Geraldine. Here's a look at the final score for that game real quick. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the matchups for next week. It looks like Pisgah will be hosting Susan Moore. Geraldine has the week off. Sand Rock hosts Section, and Fife heads to Cedar Bluff. Reporting in Fife, I'm Kayla Carlisle. Mo, back to you.
Hey, thank you so much, Kayla. Coming up next, we've got our Zaxby's varsity game of the night. It's a top 10 battle between Sparkman and Austin. You don't want to miss it. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I'm an accountant, and during tax season, I rarely see my husband and kids. So I was surprised when our friends at Avadian Credit Union arranged for dinner with my family at my office. That's Avadian. They make you feel special.
Good news, it's back.
Frosted Tips?
Absurdly large shoulder pads? Saying talk to the hand?
No, the sensation's back at Zaxby's.
The Zensation Salad is back, and introducing the new Zensation Filet Sandwich Meal with hand-breaded chicken, Asian slaw, wonton strips, and citrus vinaigrette, both served with an egg roll. The Zensation Salad and Filet Sandwich Meal, only at Zaxby's.
I'm Nick Bolton, and these days...
Hey there.
Hey there. It seems everybody has a pair of tactical sunglasses.
Good morning.
Morning. But what if you already wear glasses? Then you need these flip-up tack glasses. These new glasses fit right over your existing eyewear to give you all the benefits of our tack glasses while you comfortably wear your regular glasses. Plus, like all tack glasses, flip-up tack glasses feature Bell & Howell light filtering technology that makes invisible objects suddenly become visible. There's just nothing like them on the market today. Here you go, buddy.
Thanks, Nick.
Act now to get your flip-up tack glasses for just $19.99, and we'll even ship them to you free. But wait, order today and you can get a second pair. Just pay a separate fee. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-647-1831 or go to flipupglasses.com. That's 1-800-647-1831 or order online at flipupglasses.com.
We are the dreamers.
We changed the world.
Because we don't give up.
IU can help you live your dream.
IU is an online college, so your campus is wherever you want it to be.
Take classes when you want to take classes.
You receive the tools you need at no extra cost.
Even a brand new laptop and tablet to use in school.
Call IU. Then tell them your dream.
1-800-651-7521. 1-800-651-7521.
I'm an accountant, and during tax season, I rarely see my husband and kids. So I was surprised when our friends at Avadian Credit Union arranged for dinner with my family at my office. That's Avadian. They make you feel special.
WZDX Sports Extra, Sunday night at 10, only on WZDX.
Well, football fans, we promised you a final score for Madison Academy, and there it is. Madison Academy wins 44-37. They were down 37-36, but Avery Seaton, our former First Down Friday night MVP of the week, scored an 8-yard touchdown with 20 seconds to go to lift the Mustangs to a victory tonight. Congratulations to Madison Academy on the victory. Now, heading into Week 6, there was a three-way tie for first in 7A Region 4. James Clements, they played last night. The other two, Sparkman and Austin, they decided things tonight in Senator Country. That's where we find our very own Charity Chambers with our varsity game of the night, which is presented to you by Zaxby's. Charity, I heard you had a wonderful time to this evening.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was a top 10 matchup here tonight as the number 8 Austin Black Bears took on the number 9 Sparkman Senators. Like you mentioned, Mo, both teams going into tonight undefeated, 5-0, 3-0 in region play. So of course, a good battle was here tonight. Now a little bit down the road, Westminster Christian took on Phil Campbell. So let's go ahead and roll the highlights.
It was a battle of the Cats tonight, the Westminster Christian Wildcats versus the Phil Campbell Bobcats. We're starting in the second quarter. Westminster leads 21-6, and they're driving down the field. Jackson Billings on the QB keep. He picks up some good yardage before being brought down. A few plays later, Billings once again calls his own number. He has some good blocking, then makes some defenders miss, and he's seeing nothing but green now. He makes his way into the end zone for the score, putting Westminster up 28-6. Phil Campbell trying to get something going here, but they're struggling a little bit. The Wildcats defense just showing up tonight. Alan Clemens with a huge hit. But the Bobcats finally gaining a little momentum as Ridge Raper launches it across the middle to Austin Baker. He shakes off a defender and picks up some good yardage for a first down. They're unable to capitalize off of it, though, as Raper is stripped of the ball by Parker Williams. Williams recover it, so it's Wildcats ball with under a minute left in the half. Fast forward 3 seconds on the clock. Wildcats giving it one more shot. Billings sends it up top, but it's batted down by the Bobcats. Going into the half, Westminster led 28-6. But let's take a look at the final score. And over to our varsity game of the night, number 8 Austin versus number 9 Sparkman. The Black Bears got roaring early as Quincy Crittenden makes the throw on the move to Jabari Brown. A huge play for Austin. Brown is brought down inside the 5-yard line. The very next play, Crittenden hands it off to Tyler Williams, who barrels his way into the end zone. Black Bears strike first, 7-0. The Senators picked up a couple of first downs, but their drive was stalled. They're going for a field goal now. Miles Tillman a kick for the Senators. It's up, and it would just be short. No good. So Austin still leads 7-0. Black Bears back on offense, but they're struggling. Crittenden brought down by a host of Senators. Austin with a quick 3-and-out, so Sparkman back on offense. Nick Sawyer drops back and sends one deep, but it's Austin's Jalen Barrett who's all over it. You know what we call this? This is a pick 6. Barrett takes it all the way to the house. At the half, Austin led 14-10.
Well, I gotta say, a lot happened since the first half. Sparkman took their first lead of the game in the third quarter, 17-14. Austin, though, took the lead right back, but with under 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Nick Sawyer threw it up to Tavion Rupert for the Senators, and the Senators ended up winning the game 24-21 with that game-winning touchdown. So the Senators' first win over Austin since 2006, so they're finally ending that winning streak. So, I mean, what else to expect, though? Number 8 versus number 9, we knew it was going to be a close battle, Mo.
All right, thank you so much, Charity. I'm glad you had a lot of fun out there. Let's check in with the other unbeaten team in that region. James Clemens playing host to Gadsden City last night. In this one, the Jets were looking to score early and often, and guess what? They did just that. First drive, Dylan Blackbird goes around the left side, cuts it back, finds pay dirt on an 11-yard score. Hey, 11-yard score for number 11. It's a good combination right there. And the Jets soar to an early lead as the Liberty Middle School band plays on. Very next possession is James Clemens capping off an 11-yard drive. But Chase Starling, 6-yard touchdown run. Jets now on top, 13-0. Get used to me saying that the Jets are going to score because they did score a lot in this one. Nothing going right for Gadsden City. Jaquan Woods would fumble the exchange. Keontae Strother will recover it, and the Jets with the ball in the red zone. It doesn't take them long to capitalize on this one. It is Starling once again on the 9-yard QB keeper. It's 20-0 at that point, and I love this sign right here. James Clemens, which is in the city of Madison, is greater than the city of Gadsden, as you see right here, everybody. Let's check out your final score in this one as the Jets ran away in this one. Final score 62-7. Next week, James Clemens will take on Grissom, while Gadsden City will take on Florence. Speaking of Florence, they were in town last night as well, taking on the Crimson Panthers of Huntsville. There you see Huntsville High running out of the banner. Quarterback for Huntsville is Preston Head, and he airs one out, aiming for Jackson West, but the pass goes east and lands in the hand of Jaleel Hurley, and that's the interception, everyone. Number 20 is taking it all the way back to the midfield stripe. However, the Falcons could not capitalize on that turnover. And the Panthers, they get the ball back eventually, as you take a look at that nice moon last night at Milton Frank Stadium. They get the ball back, it's headed, finding West right there with the wide receiver middle screen, and watch him move, break a couple of tackles, and he's got some great yardage deep inside of Falcons territory. That will set up this field goal by the Panthers, and they go up by 3. But Florence, they've got a great quarterback in DeMarcus Beckwith. If you don't know, this guy has a scholarship offer for Florida to play both basketball and football. But look, you can see why the football team could use him as he scrambles, gets it inside the 10-yard line. Then he says, hey, if it works once, let's work it again. Bounces it outside, gets in the end zone for a score. Let's check out your final score in this one as Florence comes into town and knocks off Huntsville by a final of 28-23. Next week, Grissom will take on James Clemens. Bob Jones takes on Sparkman. Actually, I was jumping ahead of myself, everybody. Florence will take on Gadsden City. Huntsville will take on Austin. Now, I mentioned Bob Jones. They were also in action tonight. Bob Jones went ahead and they beat Grissom by a final score of 21-2. Next week, Grissom will take on James Clemens, while Bob Jones will go up against Sparkman. Hey, we'll wrap up our show when we return right here on WZDX.
Why walk when you can fly? Tap into your inner eagle. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Well, it's Saturday night and I just got paid. My heart say go, go. Have time cause Saturday night. Now I'm feeling fine. I'm gonna rock it up. I'm gonna rip it up. I'm gonna shake it out. Gonna ball it up. I'm gonna rock it up and ball tonight.
Now get 0 for 60 plus $1,500 total cash back on the 2019 Ranger. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Service members who were issued combat arms earplugs during foreign conflicts between 2002 and 2016 and who are diagnosed with or are suffering from hearing loss or tinnitus may be eligible for significant compensation. The manufacturer of earplugs made for combat recently paid the government $9.1 million to settle a False Claims Act case over allegations it knowingly sold defective earplugs for over a decade.
Please call 800-718-8370.
WZDX News and Watermark Keith are proud to salute the Valley's first responder. This month's recipient is Sergeant Tim Clardy of the Huntsville Police Department. Sergeant Clardy is a 17-year veteran and currently serves as a supervisor in the General Investigations Unit.
Help us honor our first responder heroes, going way beyond the call of duty.
Watermark Keith is proud to support all of our first responders.
Nominate a deserving first responder. Visit RocketCityNow.com.
A food investigation that could change your breakfast forever.
What's the truth about the yolk?
Monday at 3 on WZDX.
Back when I was growing up, you'd never know who was going to show up to my mother's kitchen. She just made everyone feel welcome at our table. I've always loved Southern cooking, but it isn't always the healthiest. Then I came across some healthy recipes and fitness tips from Blue Cross that have helped ever since I was diagnosed pre-diabetic. Now, I can rest easy knowing that I'm putting my health and the health of my family and friends first. I can't keep people out of this kitchen.
When you need me, call me 24/7, nights and weekends. Call me, Alabama.
Catch my latest pinpoint weather forecast on the go. Download the WZDX weather app today.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. It's time to wrap up the show. We've got 2 more games to show you highlights of, so let's head over to the Decatur area. That's where West Morgan was playing host to St. John Paul tonight across the river. We'll start things off in the second quarter. Score 20-14, West Morgan up. Falcons quarterback Seth Brown completes the pass to Sean Zirkle, and he gets some great yardage for the Falcons right there. Very next play, it's Brown. What can he do for you? How about throw touchdown passes this time to Zirkle once again, and with an extra point right here by Neil Schultz, it's up and it's good, and the Falcons take a 21-20 lead. Not much time left in the second quarter. West Morgan, they've got the ball. They get it over to Adam Lucas. Pay attention to this play. Lucas appears to go down, but he actually rolls over the defender, gets up, no whistle is blown, so he's trying to run it in for a score. However, he is tackled inside the 10-yard line. Time would run out right there as we go into the half. Let's check out your final score in this one, as it is the Falcons of St. John Paul who roll over to West Morgan and win by a final 49-36. Next week, St. John, they've got Randolph, while West Morgan will take on Fairview. Wrapping things up was the matinee game tonight at Milton Frank Stadium. Fort Payne coming into town to take on the Lee Generals. Of course, Fort Payne is the top of that region. Early on, John David Blaylock looking for his man Matt Shaddix, and he's got him on the 38-yard scoring play. Wildcats up 7-0. Later on, it is 14-0 Wildcats, and they decide to show some love with Hunter Love, and this guy will not be denied the end zone on the score right there. That makes it 21-0. And then later on, it's Tyler Newton, number 6, busting it outside 4-6 on that one. Touchdown for Fort Payne. Fort Payne was all over Lee tonight. They go on to win by a final of 42-0. Next week, Fort Payne will take on Buckhorn, while Lee will roll over to Albertville. We'd like to acknowledge our Week 5 First Down Friday Night MVP of the week, and it goes to Priceville running back Jerry Burton. Last week, Burton rushed for 220 yards on the ground, scored 4 touchdowns, and led Priceville to a 37-10 victory over Brewer. Now nominations are open for the First Down Friday Night MVP of Week 6. If you think you know a deserving athlete of our First Down Friday Night MVP award, shoot us an email, news@rocketcitynow.com, with the player's name, the school, the position, and most importantly, the stats from their last game, and we will announce that winner next week. For the whole entire crew, we want to thank you for joining us here on First Down Friday Night. If you missed any part of tonight's show, head over to rocketcitynow.com/sports, and you can be able to check out a replay of this great show. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next Friday.
You've been watching First Down Friday Night, sponsored by Zaxby's.